Well, hello. Welcome back to the stream. This is Kermit the Streamer. We are going to do an Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft. That's this week's quick draft format. That's the format that you pay gems to play. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to do something green X, so probably like big creatures, mount deck. I don't really go for the creatures in the graveyard thing, but maybe that's a thing. I don't think this plot deck actually ended up being a thing, although it's entirely possible. I am more a fan of the green-white mount, green-red big things with mercenaries, and probably like an outlaw or a crime pays kind of deck. If you see the stream, then you know that already. Although I do think that the crime pays deck has to have a lot of really key pieces to work well. You're much better off with a green X thing of some sort. So we're going to see what we get. And he joins up. I do like this card, but overall I'd say these joins up cards are a little underwhelming. I'm just making sure the audio is on here. Bertha Joe is phenomenal. It's just in red and white, which are colors that are not fantastic. Betrayal at the Vault is a great card. Gold Rush, okay, whatever. It's not fantastic. Hindering Light is interesting. I've never been able to make it work very well. The deserts are great, but I don't necessarily think it's a first pick here. Still think, despite really liking Eartha Joe, and he joins up is really good. See, the thing about Eartha Joe, though, is it lets you double up on any target abilities, which is pretty good. It just turns out that in red and white, you don't tend to have as much stuff that targets, other than your mercenaries themselves. Now, every mercenary getting a little upgrade of being able to do +2/+0 is a pretty doggone good upgrade. So if we can go Eartha Joe and make a decent red-white mercenaries matter kind of deck. The other thing that's interesting here is probably Steer Clear. It's one of my least favorite one casting cost removal spells ever, but it's just a trick here between Eartha Joe and Annie joins up. This is 5 damage to something, and anytime we make a legendary creature or do a legendary ability, it doubles up. So it's very similar abilities in a weird way. This one is just keyed. Oh yeah, no, you did a nice little cactus, man.
And then a ice cream tie.
Thanks. So I think it's Eartha Joe because this just has a broader application, I think. So we're gonna try that, see how we go. This does not marry us to red-white because red-white is actually a kind of a weak color pair. It just says that we want to have some sort of glancing over at white possibly maybe being a splash, or red possibly being a splash. And Harbristle Bandit is just a solid card. It's in green, one of the strongest cards strongest colors in this set. Intrepid Stablemaster is also good, but I just think the Bandit just has a lot more potential because it allows you to hit those other colors. Commandeer's great, but I'm pretty sure that we're probably not heading the blue direction. Now, this could be wrong. We're drafting against bots here, so things could change. We're not necessarily drafting against humans who follow the rules and do the things that they're supposed to do. Omniport Vigilante has been underwhelming for me. Journey to Nowhere, on the other hand, has not been. Enchantments kind of get a free roll this block in a way that they don't get in some other blocks. Congregation Griff is good, and so is Rambling Possum. So I think I'm gonna take the safe bet here and get a removal card because removal is good. These cards are also pretty on par. Possum and Griff here are really good. Cactarantula is not bad either. I do like the black that's going, and I do like this blue card, but I think Journey to Nowhere just makes sense here. Fierce Retribution's good. I like the Creosote Heath a lot here. Prairie Dog is good, but it's really only good in a stalemate sense. The interesting thing here is that I do think no, this doesn't interact with Eartha Joe at all, because it doesn't actually target in any way. Although the thing that would put the counters on might target if it's another source, but this card itself does not really interact with Eartha Joe. So I do think Creosote Heath is really good here. It's got two of the colors we want to be playing at the moment, and it's a desert. Deserts are good. Abraded Bluffs also is in that set. You do want to have at least, I think, one copy of Cracked Tarantula in any deck that's touching green. We do also have a great card in Outlaw Medic right here. I think I'm going to be safe in this early part of the draft and just take one of the cards that allows us to satisfy our splash. That was possibly a mistake, I think, but it's one I'm okay to make. This is good. Better with Eartha Joe. Although this kind of effect at 5 mana is less good. So I think I'm going to go Cunning Coyote here. This card has just never ceased to impress me anytime it's hit the battlefield, I think. And I prefer it over Reckless Lackey. Trick Shot's interesting. But yeah, Cunning Coyote. I don't like Mage Main Legends. Some people do, I don't. Iron Fist Pulverizer is a great 5-drop. But I think Outlaw Medic is just ever so much better, especially at this stage of the draft. Prosperity Tycoon, that's good. It makes a mercenary for us. I think that satisfies one of the conditions we want as far as a card that pairs well with Eartha Joe, and it's just good on its own too.
I'm gonna stop there.
The Wingsmith. It just gains a flying counter. A 2/4 flyer for 3 is good rate, but I don't think it's what we want here. Betrayal of the Vault coming this late. Not surprising against bots, but I think that's actually a pretty clear sign that we've got a good chance of green being really open. At least if we're playing against humans. We're drafting against humans, I should say. And look at this, Rambling Possum actually came back to us. That's big. Don't really like Keykeeper, and I'm going to go ahead and put it over in the maybe not field, but it is something that does commit a crime and allows you to commit a crime every turn when you've got it, if you need that. So it definitely doesn't warrant just being immediately sideboarded. Brand Abolisher, I seem to remember that being good. During your turn, oh, so it turns off instance any sort of interaction on your turn. So it basically turns all of their stuff that would normally affect you on their turn into sorceries. They can only cast them on their turn. We'll take a second Eartha Joe here, although I do like Savage Smash a lot. One of the things I notice about this format personally is that having some of these legends and multiple copies of some of these legends is actually really doggone good. Arius Lullaby is nice. Frontier Seeker, what do? I believe you're a disappointment. For 2 mana, might get a Plains or a Mount. That seems good. Dance of the Tumbleweeds might be a hair better. Not sure. We got 3 cards. I'm definitely narrowing it down to Frontier Seeker, Dance of the Tumbleweeds, and Arius Lullaby. Explosive Derailment is there, and it is a good card as well. So I think I'm going to take the highest upside card here, and I think that is Dance of the Tumbleweeds. Getting it to be able to do both of these things is really good, and it makes every successive turn better too. Aging Cornucopia I don't like, but this might be a deck that makes it work. Mystical Tether is just better. Yes, Mystical Tether is just better. This format actually has a lot of Oblivion Ring style effects, but for some weird reason it doesn't have a lot of enchantment kill, or at least not a lot of seemingly playable enchantment kill. Outward Frontier, just a little too slow. Super Deputy is interesting here with the 2 copies of Eartha Joe. It's powered up a little bit. It's basically its target creature ability gets powered up a little bit. It can give +2/+0. And I like having one of these guys that can search for a basic land or desert card. Now I'm not interested in getting more than one, I don't think. Brimstone Roundup. I actually really like this deck with Brimstone Roundup. The only problem is we've got a decent late game card. We've got Giant Beaver, which is great, and Spinewood's Paladin. Just good cards on their own. Brimstone Roundup needs a lot of things happening with your deck. The thing is, this deck can make those things happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it, even though I do think it's not as powerful as these other cards. I think we're just going to end up with the right deck for that. This does not target, so it does not go along with the Joe. So I do think that Drover Grizzly is kind of a key card for the format in a way that Raucous Entertainer is just not. So we'll go with Drover Grizzly. Free Strider Commando, less good card. Thunderlass is actually really interesting because this does target, and this says target is good. That's also a reason to put the Keykeeper back in, because this, whenever you're doing a thing that targets, you get to double when you've got Eartha in play. So if it does something good anyway, that gets leveled up by having Eartha Joe in play, then it's going to be something that we want to do. Sandstorm Verge is also very interesting here, but I think another Mystical Tether is the best choice. Ankle Biter, not exciting, but I like it here. I've never liked this card. People play against me and do really well with it. I do not like Quill Charger at all. Can we stop banging on things? Quick Draw. Like it. Reach for the Sky is actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna make my mana work. Tech Tarantula, you're welcome. Get into the deck, please. Rider Sentinel, I like, and I do think I like it better than Steer Clear. We're probably going to get one copy of Steer Clear later, and it's not a critical card. Calamity is just amazing. Collective Defiance is really good as well, but I think Calamity can be a game breaker on its own.
How about you draw something that's rainbow, but it's a bug?
I like the Gila
Your
Courser.
favorite bug that's rainbow.
Another Hard Bristle Bandit would be good. We get a full extra turn to play this card that we get from the Gila Courser, and it's got a really cheap saddle cost, so I think it's just too hard to not go for that. I don't like Sheriff of the Safe Passage at all. It looks way better than it actually is. Spinewood's Armadillo is great, and in this particular deck, I think it really is what we're looking for, but we are looking to probably be more red than white, and that being the case, I do think Explosive Derailment is very good for us and very important. And it's just ever so slight. Because of that, it's going to just edge out this Spinewood's Armadillo, although it's a great card. And it's equally an important card, I think, for this kind of archetype. Rustler Rampage, nope, not so much. Back for more, I wish I had that deck going. We'll take this late pick, Congregation Griff. Take Up the Shield is fantastic. I think that's a good pick here, except that white needs to be kind of our splashy color, so I'm going to take the red card. Quick Draw, not interested. Twisted Piece, not interested. Mystical Tether it is. So this is going to get tricky. Form a posse. That seems good. I guess we actually have more of a red-white build than one that needs green. I think that's the shift here. I think we're actually going to be more of a red-white deck.
Look how pretty on your wall.
Full steam ahead. Yep.
It's
It's got double green in it though. That's tricky.
You were going when it was.
So we're just in the last phases of the draft here. We're taking commons. That's what we're doing at this point. Trevor Grizzly is a playable good mount though. And ooh, I like Trevor Grizzlies. So yeah, so this is the exact kind of weirdly awkward situation. The good thing is I think we're pretty good to be able to run 3 colors. But we do have to look at maybe cutting some of these double color cards.
There were sprinklers on?
And I think Betrayal at the Vault, although it's a fantastic card, is going to be one of them. Full Steam Ahead's probably another. Although this card is just bonkers. At 5 mana too. It's hard. What's our creature count looking like? Okay, we got tons of creatures, and we got to go down 9 cards to make this work. So, thing about Thunder Lasso, it is a repeatable effect, but we have that repeatable effect here. One thing I just noticed about Crypto Joe, she also doubles up in Mystical Tethers too. So, while we're not always going to have Crypto Joe in play, this card being a 1-for-1 is always good. The potential for making it be a 2-for-1 is just amazing. I'm going to cut some of the less amazing mount type creatures cards. I don't really like the Wolverine.
Can I just draw this and then I'll take one? Yeah, but you're going to get in first, okay?
Kids are resisting shower.
So then you weren't just in the shower making noises and shouting.
8, 13, 14, 16, 17 lands, and I think we want to keep it
How
that
do
way.
I talk? In the bed?
Ankle Biter. Not excited about that. Silver Deputy.
But I'm doing something!
Trevor Grizzly is a key card, but 3 of them is a little nuts. I like having 2. Don't really like Brattled Bighorn. Got some really cool combo potentials with the Rambling Possum and cards like Silver Deputy, Cunning Coyote, Iron Fist Pulverizer, because, you know, getting to send something cheap back and then make a second spell pretty easily on your turn. It's going to be pretty good. Let's get rid of the Stagecoach, I think. That does hit all creatures, though. That's interesting. That might actually function a little bit better than Full Steam Ahead in a way. Red Rock Sentinel may just be too defensive for this deck. It's a card I like, but it's a card I like when we're going to be struggling to come to the board, and I don't think that's going to be a problem here. It's tough making these last 2 cuts. 17 creatures. I have a feeling like this is not the deck that wants a medic. Even though it's 2 casting cost. last cut. Probably something from the high end. I think it's Congregation Griff. So this is definitely Earth's Party. Earth's Party. Alright, so we're going to take a break, come back, do a couple matches, maybe 3 matches. See you soon. Thanks for joining, and we'll see. Hopefully we can get this thing to get us a trophy. I think it should be worth at least 4 or 5 wins. We'll see though.